The other day, someone on the internet got mad at me. He accused me of not actually believing the things that I say I believe, and he said that not only am I not a Christian, but I'm a modern-day Sadducee, exactly the kind of person that Jesus fought with, and also who got him murdered. Now, it's hardly the worst that people say about me, but on that particular day I decided to reply. So after being accused of lying and hypocrisy, and after being told that I was the kind of person who got an innocent man murdered, I said to this guy, "You're not very kind, at least here in this digital space. Maybe IRL it's different. So perhaps that's a fruit of the spirit you might spend some quality time investing in?" To which he said, "It's not about being kind. It's about rebuking a person who is A, perverting the word of the Lord, and B, a hypocrite." And then he added, "Jesus did it all the time. If you were legitimately a Christian, you would know this." Friends, can we talk about this perspective for a minute? I call this the fetishization of angry Jesus. It's when people use these stories of Jesus rebuking people or turning over the tables as justification for their own self-righteous, arrogant, prickish behaviors. And I should know, I'm one of them. I've done this very thing. But I'm trying to do it less often, and here's why. At the very least, Jesus was an incredibly enlightened, spiritual thinker who possessed deep insights into the human condition. And at most, he was, God incarnate. So even on his worst day, he was like a million times smarter and wiser than I am on my best day. So did Jesus call people hypocrites? Yeah, totally. And did he get really pissed off and flip over tables because poor folks are being ripped off by religious pretenders looking to make a buck? Yeah, he did that. But do I think I possess the same level of insight into the human heart that would justify similar judging and table flipping? I don't think so. Probably not. But it's so tempting, isn't it? To use these examples of the angry Jesus to justify our sense of moral self-righteousness. And this seems to happen over and over again in these situations where there's like this established sense of what it means to be a decent human, a kind of agreed upon ethos of how to treat one another in a civilized society with decency and respect. But then here comes someone who honestly is just being a jerk, calling people names, judging people's character, all the while claiming some kind of moral superiority. And then if they get called out on it, like people are like, "Hey, bro, everyone in the pool's pretty chill, enjoying themselves, and then you cannonball in and you haven't stopped splashing everyone's face. Like, what's your deal?" And they kind of just shrug their shoulders and say, "What? Jesus called out hypocrites and flipped over tables, so I can too." Here's why I chose to say to this guy, "You're not being very kind." The Apostle Paul listed kindness as one of the fruits of the Spirit, which is like a fancy way of saying, here's what your life looks like when you're living in harmony with God. People who fetishize angry Jesus, who use these few examples of Jesus getting bent out of shape as justification for their lack of decency, their lack of respect, they seem to think kindness doesn't matter because WWJD. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's time we slow down with the whole, what would Jesus do? Because unless you're ready to tell me that you are as grounded and intelligent and enlightened as Jesus was, well, maybe you shouldn't try and do everything that he did. But kindness, my gut tells me that's something that we're all capable of. And since kindness is a fruit of the Spirit, and rebuking others and flipping tables are not, maybe we could spend more time being kind to one another, and less time trying to convince ourselves that Jesus is totally cool with it when we name call, criticize, and judge people that we've never even met.